Hello.
Fun. Here.
We're so excited. This is such a fun critical event this month. I'm Katie. I work on the marketing team at Create Room.
I'm Ashley. We're so excited to be joined with our Glowforge friends today. You guys, tell us your guys' names and.
Hi,
everybody.
Hey, thanks for having us. I'm Bailey from Glowforge.
And I'm Nick from Glowforge.
Those are not our last name, but
Yeah.
feels like it at this point. But so thanks so much for having us today. We are dialing in from our studio here in downtown Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's very cold.
We had a really warm October, and then this morning I was like freezing coming here.
Yeah. This is like down jacket weather right now. It's bad.
It got so cold. But
where are you all again?
Yeah, so we're in northern Utah, like Salt Lake area.
That's what we were guessing. We couldn't remember.
Yeah. So it's been a beautiful October as well. And this morning it's been a little rainy, and we have our heater going today in our
we are in a building from the 1920s, so our heaters are token gestures of that represent.
They're kind of aesthetic though. They're really pretty. But I mentioned that we're in downtown Seattle because you might hear like sirens or other fun city noises around us. So
it's a good neighborhood. We're not doing.
So fun. Well, I'm so excited because we are going to be able to learn from you guys today. We are excited about your new machine. So I feel like the connection between Glowforge and Create Room is this: you guys provide amazing tools to create, and I love that you guys have your DreamBox behind you.
It's so fun to see.
Love it. The site right here. We'll give you a tour a little bit later on.
Yes. Okay. So, and you guys are going to be showing us a really fun craft that can be made with the new Aura. Can you tell us a little bit about, because this machine's pretty new?
Yes. So Glowforge, the company, has been around since 2015 or so. We launched our first laser cutters in 2015, and Nick and I are old timers here. We both joined the company in 2015 and 2016, early 2016, respectively. So we've stuck around it so long that we've launched another laser cutter. So our original units are the Glowforge Plus and Pro. So if you go on glowforge.com, you'll see the larger ones. But today we're going to be showing off our newest edition, the Glowforge Aura. It just launched in July, and it was made for crafters.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Nick and I, we've been doing live streams and demoing the Glowforge Plus and Pro, which we call the Performance Series, for years, and it's an awesome machine. Don't get me wrong,
really capable.
But it's not for everybody, just due to the size and the price point, and not everybody needs like just such a beast of a machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So this is kind of the Aura is kind of meant to be like a level up from maybe you're a vinyl cutter, or maybe even if you don't have a vinyl cutter, getting one of these and then being able to print, as we call it, cut and engrave on wood, leather, fabric, cardboard, felt, just all sorts of materials. It's I'll start picking things up now. This stone coaster was engraved with a Glowforge. So it uses a beam of light to cut and engrave on materials. So you can create 3D objects, like some of the things you can see around us. This little house on the desk here, we'll show off. We've got some prints little stuck onto the DreamBox here. So just a huge range of materials and the engravability to do, fonts or even photos.
Engravability, is that a word?
Engravability.
I heard it here.
Yes.
You're right. It is so incredibly versatile. And so for someone out there who is an avid crafter, who's used to working with paper and fabric and things like this, you can now take your craft and kind of level it up into materials that you probably couldn't work with before unless you had access to saws and drills and things like that, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, Nick actually came to us with a background as a leather worker. And so he did it the really hard way with an industrial sewing machine.
These hands can tell stories.
Yes. And leather is one of those materials that's like, it is so high quality. And like you can make a leather wallet that you can then use for years. So it's less like the products that you can make with an Aura are, wonderful for traditional crafting, but also really nice things that you can gift and keep for a long time. So really, really cool.
I was going to say, I could show it if you like. This is the one. So this is our handy shaky cam. So this is a wallet that I made back when I first started the company. Must be at least 6 years old now, something like that. And this is a leather wallet. It has like a little ejection thing on the side where if you give that a pull, it pops the cards out. But all of these panels were cut with the Glowforge. All of the stitch holes were cut with the Glowforge. So all you had to do was kind of lace this up.
That's
and then
amazing.
that design that you see in there, that was a hard plastic stamp that I made by engraving acrylic. And then I smushed that into leather, so it's debossed, kind of like what you do with paper crafts, but in the leather. So you get this like 3-dimensional textural kind of design on the front, super high quality. And as you can see, it's holding up really well.
Yeah, it's got a gorgeous patina on it. So just to bring it back high level, because I know this can be kind of hard to understand if you've never used a laser cutter at all. So Nick would have, to create that, taken a full flat sheet of leather, placed it in the Glowforge, and then we'll show you the software a little bit so that you see that part. But then the design for the wallet would have been the wallet in, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 pieces or something like that. Cut the pieces out individually, cut those holes in it with the laser beam, and then when it's finished, then assemble it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, and we have our aura behind us. I don't know if you guys can see. We have one as well. And it's so fun. It honestly, like, there are so many possibilities. We're just getting started on
we've just been playing
very
around
like
with it.
basic things, but there really are so many possibilities, which is amazing. So
yeah, and we ended up working together actually because a friend of mine from high school won your new DreamBox in a giveaway, and then I was like, wow, congratulations, that's amazing. And then she's like, they love Glowforge too, and we were like, wow. With the aura, this is like the ultimate crafter's dream combination. Is these two things
fits so well together? It's amazing. Yeah.
So we took a look at the dimensions. We were thrilled to see that it fits so well. And this friend actually just got an aura for her birthday now, so she's like got it all. Very excited for her.
Well, it's been fun to see. We've just been sharing a little bit. If you guys are following us on social media, those of you that are watching, hopefully you are because you're here. We've been sharing some, just our experience with the aura so far, and it's been so fun to see the response. So we were so excited. I mean, I think, our community is just always looking for the next thing and the next craft opportunity.
Yes, exactly.
So we were really excited to connect with you guys and have you guys, just share a little bit about what's possible with the aura. And I think you guys are planning on showing us another craft that you made that I think is specific to craft organization, which is
yeah, we heard y'all like all that kind of stuff. So
we got a feeling.
You guys are awesome. Yeah, we'd love to, you guys just take over, show us what you guys have made and kind of how it's working in your box. And then I think at the end, we want to do a little bit of, we want to have you guys show us your DreamBox a little bit more and show us kind of with it.
Yes.
Sure. So we'll
just
sort of.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. One thing, just quickly, just for anyone watching, if you share this video to your page or to any of your friends, comment shared in the chat, and at the end of our little craft along, we will choose a winner for a gift card to Create Room. So just want to give that a little plug. So just while you're watching, just comment shared. So
yeah, and we're keeping an eye on chat. We've got eyes and ears everywhere. So if you have questions about the Glowforge, either the Pro or Plus or the Aura, we're happy to answer. We'll kind of explain as we go, but feel free to pop in with specific questions and we'll make sure we get those answered.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Okay, take it away.
All right, let's do it. Should we show what we're making first?
Yeah, so we'll do this kind of cooking show style. So I can take no credit for this, but our amazing team, I was like, hey, we're shipping one of these giant dream boxes to the office. What can we do with it? And they just casually whipped up this.
So this is as you can see, a paintbrush organizer. I guess you could put pencils and things in it too, but we designed it for paintbrushes, and it holds, I think, approximately 870 million paintbrushes, something like that. There's a lot. It's multi-tiered, so it can accommodate different levels. I'm going to pull a little.
Wow,
that is amazing.
This way, see, is that better? You can see our messy studio behind.
Sorry, I'm trying
Maybe
not
we
to
should
show
have
too
taken
much.
the camera over to the
That's
the
okay.
Dreambox.
That's okay.
But this is just a modular piece made from acrylic. So this is a colored plastic material that you can use with your Glowforge. We sell this as a proof grade material, which we'll explain a little bit later on, but essentially it's designed to work perfectly with your machine. So it cuts seamlessly and the pieces just kind of slot together. We added a couple of dabs of glue just to keep everything nice and straight and strong. But I think it came together really nicely.
Yes.
We chose teal. That's our, one of our brand colors. So that's the one we went for. But of course, you could use any color you like. You could even do it out of a wood or something like that if you're interested.
Yeah.
Mike. Yeah, thanks. So let's show you exactly how this began, how this came to life. And I think we should start in the Glowforge app. So if Mike can share my screen, perfect. Then I can show you this. And so this here is the dashboard of Glowforge, where you organize all of your designs and things like this. And you can also get access to the Glowforge catalog here too, which has thousands of designs that have been designed mostly by our customers, in fact, that are optimized for Glowforge. They're ready to print. And there's all sorts of stuff in here, from like complex 3D models to graphics for your t-shirt to paper craft, a little bit of everything for anyone.
There's a lot of great holiday stuff too.
Oh yeah.
If I had gotten my act together, I could have printed so much stuff for Halloween.
Right?
There's so much cool stuff, like this trick or treat sign up at the top, I'm noticing.
Oh, this is fun. I don't know if we can see this easily. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. This particular designer has created this whole series of keychains called millennials.
Oh yeah.
Millennial animals.
Yep, like they're hipster, like they've got cool glasses. Yes, they're cool, like millennials, right?
And they just released this new one, which I thought was great. And I bet now that I've mentioned it, I'm not going to be able to spell millennials. There we go. Thank goodness for autofill, right?
Oh
but
yeah,
you can see all of these different caricatures. And I think what's really fun about these is they're simple shapes that are layered together, so you can mix and match your materials. But here's the bat one that they just did for Halloween. If I click on this and make it a little bit bigger, you can kind of see it's like a little skull. They've used a tortoiseshell acrylic there. They're really fun.
So that uses two materials too, which is a fun thing, of course. Like, so that one was maybe some kind of a cherry plywood, maybe, and then a tortoiseshell acrylic.
Some acrylic. You could add some paint if you want. Like, that's the great thing about this, right? Yeah. It's so versatile. But anyway, back to our paintbrush holiday. Sorry. We can talk for a long time about this, so feel free to move us along if we get carried away. But this particular design, we designed in a piece of design software. And then you can use any design software that you're comfortable with. If it can output a PDF or an SVG, that software can cut anything you like, any shapes that you draw. So things like Adobe Illustrator, if you can export from the Cricut software. What other examples? CorelDRAW, Inkscape, that's a good free one as well. Canva, true. Yeah, absolutely. Any of that stuff, you can make designs that you can cut and engrave. Now, you can also just engrave stuff too. You're not forced to create three-dimensional things like this from scratch. For example, like Bailey showed, we have these coasters. You could get an object and just pop that in the Glowforge and just engrave that.
And I assume many of you are very familiar with like your local craft store, whether it's a Michael's or a Joann or a Hobby Lobby or what have you. But there are whole sections of kind of like blanks these days for people to either put in a laser machine or paint or what have you. And a lot of those materials, plate, cutting boards, a lot of it's just plywood.
Yeah, different organic, essentially. Yeah.
A lot of those will work with the Glowforge. Yeah. So
we actually dedicated a section in our DreamBox too over here for engravables, as we might call it, or found objects. So I'll show you that later too.
Amazing.
But anyway, so we designed this in our software and we've uploaded it to the software here. And if we click on it, it's going to open up in the Glowforge app. And what we're seeing here is my favorite feature of the app. This is called Live Preview. And we're actually looking at a photograph of the material that's actually inside the machine right now. And we have a piece of teal acrylic. And you can see here these red lines. These are my design elements. And if I move them out the way, you can see the black lines are where I've actually already cut these pieces. And you can see how accurately that position them, right? They're basically on top of each other. So if you're engraving on top of something like a coaster or another found object and you want that design really accurately placed, you could just drag and drop it into place just like this, pop it where you want, and press print. Really easy. And of course, within the software too, you can copy and paste stuff if you want to make duplicates. You can rotate things. You can resize stuff as well. If you've used anything like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, all that kind of stuff, you'll be successful in here. It's really easy.
Yeah, sometimes in Microsoft Word, you're trying to like format a paragraph and it just keeps speaking. Oh, yeah, we've all been there. What's really awesome about the ability to move things around and rotate and flip and everything like that is that you can use every square inch of the material because, I mean, I'm not going to lie, material is expensive, whether you're picking up just a really basic piece of plywood or you've invested in some really nice pre-finished leather or what have you. You want to use every little bit of it. I mean, waste is wasteful.
Absolutely.
And so it's so great. Like for this example, we're using this teal acrylic, like we said, and we'll have, I mean, we could nest these and probably print, the whole thing on one, or I don't know how many pieces it takes, but you'll end up with little corners that are unused and you could print earrings or other small items. And it's really a nice feature that you're able to just use every little bit.
Yeah.
We call them scrap busting projects,
Oh, yes.
right? Yeah, it's you're an expert in that, being
Yep.
thrifty crafters. But what I'm going to do here, just to show you exactly how this kind of goes together, is I'm going to move these two pieces off my artboard. So these are basically put to the side, so I don't need to print them later. And I'm going to take this one, and we'll print another version of this.
Cool.
And let's find a nice spot for it. I'm going to put it towards the top so I can show you the laser as it works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to rotate it like this. And then I think I'm going to use this flip tool here just to flip it as well. So that way I'm using the material a bit more efficiently. And I think that looks pretty good. We've got just a little bit of a border to separate it from this piece. And essentially that's all we have to do. And because we're using proof grade that we mentioned before, this piece of material has got a QR code stuck on the front of it. And the Glowforge app has identified it as our eco-thin teal acrylic. So it's automatically applied the settings. And that's basically the amount of power it needs to be able to cut through this material. And it's done it automatically for me.
So proof grade, if we didn't explain this, it's the line of materials that we, Glowforge as a company, produce and have chosen and tested and pre-finished and masked. So the reason that this looks brown on the screen is because there is a masking over it, which like a really thin, sticky paper, and it protects the material during the print. And also just as you're hauling your material around, it doesn't get scratched, so that when you take this off, it's perfect. If you have seen, laser crafts at craft fairs and stuff, kind of the old school look or telltale sign that something is made on a laser is sort of that scorched look around the edges. And we like to avoid that. Sometimes for some projects, you want that. For many, you don't. And so using this material kind of using the masking. Oh yeah, here's a great example.
We could show you this, yeah.
Nick was making fun of me. I brought this to an event in New York last week, and I didn't realize that the masking was still on. He kept it on to keep it fresh, so I could peel it there, and I didn't notice. But here we go. So this is cool. This is actually
This is a really intricate stamp.
Yeah, this is actually a stamp. So this is the front of the stamp, and then we've engraved laser safe rubber, and then the result would be this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Imagine buying that in the store. This would be a pretty expensive stamp to buy. And of course, you couldn't then personalize it or customize it to have your family name on it. Like here, we have a family name right in the stamp itself. And so for something that's really special for a gift or just to celebrate a particular holiday, or maybe you make a new one of these every year, quick and easy to do, super versatile.
But you notice all this schmutz, which actually looks kind of cool and vintage. But
but if I put this tape on, and I'm going to use this tape instead of using my fingernails. You don't have to do this at all. You can just peel it off just like you might weed something else. But
there we go.
You can kind of see that tape start to come away.
Oh, so
you can see the difference there between this area and this area, how clean that is.
Is this maple?
This is maple. So this has been pre-finished with an industrial grade furniture finish. So it's super durable, super high quality. And so if you're looking to gift things that you've made with your aura, you can take it straight out the laser and it's ready to go. People will be super impressed.
Yeah. So that is proof grade. It's a great option if you just kind of want the easy bake oven version of making, where you just pop it in there, the settings are done, but you are not confined to using proof grade. You can also literally pick up a rock off the ground or a piece of plywood at the craft store that's not made by Glowforge, and you will likely be able to use it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, back to our software. Actually, should we take a break? Are there any questions that are coming in? I realize that me and Bailey don't really stop talking once we start, so.
I know, they're trying to say something that cool. Yeah.
Literally blown, like the amount of just things that I have been thinking through, like our possibilities right now. I mean, we have so many paper crafters and card makers that are watching, and I've been seeing so many comments coming through. I think people are just super intrigued by, I think a lot of people knew Glowforge, but it was maybe like you mentioned, they're very big machines, maybe out of price range or reach for some people, but I think just this new machine, and so many people are tuning in saying like, wait, what is this new Glowforge? What is this?
Yes.
So I think some people missed that at the very beginning, but so what they're making this on is the newest machine, the Aura, and this was just released this year, correct?
Yep. Yeah, just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And speaking of paper craft, I've got this cute little Christmas cupcake guy right here. And that's what's amazing about the laser, is that you can tune it, for lack of a better word, to cut through paper, and it's not burned, it's not scorched, it's just cut beautifully and detailed, and then all the way to something delicate like that, all the way to stone or cutting through hardwood. So it's really, really adjustable.
It's amazing. I did see one question, maybe just while we're talking about this. What what are the main differences between the Pro and the new machine, the Aura?
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah, so they're actually different kinds of lasers, first of all. The Pro and Plus are CO2 lasers. So there's actually a laser tube in it. So if you watch it printing, you'll see like a cool glowing pink light, and there's like a high voltage electricity source in the laser itself. And so because of that, it is more powerful. It's a lot faster, and it can cut through thicker materials and just a bit of a broader range of materials. The Aura, conversely, is therefore slower and has a few limitations. The main limitation that is of concern to crafters is that Aura cannot cut through clear acrylics. So we can use something like this teal acrylic, but if it's clear, physics, something physics, the type of laser beam, it's a diode laser beam in the Aura. So the capabilities are just a little bit different. The light absorbs differently. So it is important, of course, to know, what you want to make or adjust your crafting aspirations around the capability of the machines. But it's certainly very capable and can do many of the same things.
Oh, yeah. And I think what's interesting about the machine too, and the way I like to use it, is you can make tools to create things that the laser can't do.
Oh, yeah.
So, for example, if you wanted to cut out some shapes for picture frame glass out of clear acrylic, you could cut something else out as a template. And then because acrylic breaks really easily when you score it, you could just score around that template, just kind of like you were making an envelope out of cardstock. And then you could just break the acrylic by hand too.
Clever.
So, whereas there are limitations, there are definitely ways to tackle some of these things.
That's amazing.
All about thinking creatively.
And there are some awesome, I just want to shout out, there is one Facebook group in particular. It's called I don't know the name of it exactly, but Aura Crafters on Facebook. It's run by Rachel Timmerman, and she's kind of one of the foremost experts, actually, both in DreamBox and in Glowforge Aura. And she's one of the types that she's like, proof grade, great, yeah, but what else can I do? And she has taken it upon herself to test, I think at this point, hundreds of materials and the results and the techniques. And I've just been so impressed. I mean, we're still learning alongside of all of the new customers. So it's really exciting.
It's really cool.
That's amazing.
Well, Rachel said hi. She's actually watching.
She's watching the live.
Hey, Rachel.
So fun. That's amazing.
Should we carry on with the demo and kick this print off while we keep answering some questions?
Yes.
I'll show you this one last bit, which I think is kind of interesting, and that sets apart the machine from a lot of others out there. And that is, in the software itself, when we press print, there's some automatic processes that happen. And essentially, the laser is going to come across and take a bunch of measurements of your material and basically optimize the way that it does stuff automatically. So you don't have to do any kind of measuring or adjustment or anything like that. And that all happens with sensors that we developed and built into the machine. And I think what's kind of cool about the way that the machine was developed, and we talk about this a little bit with the Pro, as well as with Aura, is because all of this stuff is web-based and the software itself is all up in the cloud, so to speak. We are continuously tweaking and developing it and releasing new tools and things like that. And so the day your Aura arrives, I like to say, is the worst it's ever going to be because it just continuously develops.
It's not approved marketing, by the way.
No, it's true. Yeah. We get away with it with these live things because they can't stop me. But
the worst it'll ever be.
Yeah, the worst it'll ever be.
It's like a Pokemon. It continues to evolve. You like that one?
I mean, I yes. I have a 5-year-old. I'm learning more about Pokemon days by day. Yes. But once it does all that measuring and does a lot of optimization for you, in the app itself, it tells you exactly how long this is going to take. So to cut this piece, we've got, weirdly, 4 minutes, 44 seconds. Didn't plan that. It's just how it turned out. And the button on the machine itself is actually glowing. So
you want to hand cam?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
That's amazing.
So there's just one button on the unit that glows like this when the machine is ready to go. Now, we also have a Glowforge personal filter attached to this too, which I realized
zooming out.
I did the zoom in camera thing on the phone. I should change that for you, Bailey.
Oh yeah,
but anyway,
really zoomed in.
This connects to the Glowforge Aura via Bluetooth. And so it knows when there's a print coming. And right now you can see it's also blinking. It's basically ready to go. It's poised, ready to filter everything that's happening. I'm going to press this. That's going to kick off the prints. And you might be able to hear in the background the fans kind of spin up a little bit. And essentially, as the black box here comes across, that's the bit that has the laser inside. As it starts to fire that laser at the material and vaporize it, it's going to give off some particles, some smells, things like that. And that all gets vented out the back. And you can actually see that little gray grate that's behind the laser head right now. all the smoke goes through there and then into the filter. And so all of those particulates, all of the stinkiness is all taken care of. So you don't have to worry about any of that.
That's so nice.
And of course, if you don't want to use the Glowforge Personal Filler, that's totally fine. You can take the same hose and pop that out of your window if you prefer, and you can vent very safely that way too. It all depends on like how you want your personal setup. The nice thing about this is you can put this literally anywhere where there's Wi-Fi and power, and you can print, which is kind of neat. So if you wanted to go to a craft fair or something like that, you could do it there. If you want to like pack it all up and take it to your friend's house and have a craft night, you could do that too.
You can see the laser beam moving. I apologize. I've had too much coffee this morning. I'm a little shaky. I'm like, oh, this is harder than it looks. But yeah, you can see the light, and you can see it's cutting through the acrylic just that quickly.
And putting material like this in this level of detail by hand would be nigh on impossible, really. It would be really difficult to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
All
amazing.
right.
We'll just see it up as well.
So it's now cutting for 4 minutes, or is that what you said? Or is
Yep,
it?
it has another 3 minutes left, and it just counts down, so you can see it go, so you kind of know what you're getting into. And you can pause it.
Yeah, you just press the button on the printer if you want to pause it. Let's say you want to step away and make a coffee or something like that. Someone rings the doorbell. Just pause it, come back, press the button again, carry on where you left off. Yeah, it's really great. And also, some people have asked this question before. Once you send your print to the Glowforge, it stays there in the Glowforge. It remembers everything. So let's say your Wi-Fi went down or something like that. If you live in a rural area and that's a concern, it doesn't matter. The printer will continue to go and it will finish the job where it started.
Right, because say that you're doing like a, an hour-long photo engrave, and then halfway through you lose Wi-Fi because it's a stormy day or something like that. It will have already kind of uploaded the whole project, and it'll just keep going, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's really rad.
Yeah.
And then, of course, once you designed it, you can print it as many times as you like. So we have this one here that we're going to use. We'll probably take this one that we're printing today and gift it to somebody else. Or maybe, I feel like we don't have more paintbrushes than we already have here, but, this is a lot. But yeah.
I'm sure we're going to get questions about this, but this paintbrush design that you guys made, is that available anywhere? Or is this like your guys' own custom design?
We just made it for this stream. So, if possible, we could get it into the Glowforge catalog. Right now, it's not available anywhere yet. But
I don't see any reason why not. So watch this space. I think it will be available.
That's amazing.
Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of questions about it.
That's so cool.
There's also a question that just came through, I guess while we're waiting for that to print. Asking about any specials coming up before Christmas on your Glowforge printer options.
Yes. Well, we cannot reveal the details yet. We are planning to have some exciting offers around the holidays that should start, in the next several weeks or so. So keep an eye on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. And then also, there's an email capture on our website, and then you could get all that way you won't miss any deals from us. So
maybe order your DreamBox now, and then it'll probably be delivered about the same sort of time, and then the two things can come together.
I like how you're thinking. I'm looking at questions here, and I noticed someone asking about how to engrave on the found objects, especially if they're irregularly shaped or if they have several materials on them. That's a level 2 question. I like that. I've seen, for example, you could buy a wallet at a store that's made of leather and also cork or something like that. And so, what are your main techniques for how do you handle a 2 material found object?
So in all honesty, the best answer to that really would be to test. That's going to be the best way that you can get the best result. I realize that's not always possible, but for something which is a complete unknown, I would absolutely advise getting a second version if you can, or if there's like a hidden area that you can do some tests on, do that test. And then also be aware that different materials are probably going to engrave slightly differently too. Cork is a lot softer than wood, so it probably requires less power to make that same mark. So you're probably going to want to break your design into 2 pieces. Within the software itself, you have what's called print steps. So if I show you my screen really quick, right now, all of these pieces that we're cutting out are assigned 1 print step right here, which is set to proof grade cut. And that has some settings baked into it that we can adjust as we see fit. Now, if I added some text right here, you'll notice that immediately another print step pops up here, and I can assign unique settings to that step. So I could do 2 sets of text like this. So now we have 2 print steps. One I could drag onto a leather piece, one I could drag onto the cork piece, and then I can assign different settings for those and figure out exactly how it works. And for found objects too, you might notice in our materials menu something similar to what you're engraving on. So let's say you picked up something that was made of birch, a light colored wood. Well, we don't have birch in here. We can type and see, unfortunately not. Oh, but we do have maple, and we have maple plywood and maple hardwood. So what you could do is start with the settings that we have baked in here for maple hardwood, and then adjust them from there. Send a little test, see how it looks. If it's too dark, too deep, either speed it up or lower the power. And vice versa. If you want to go a little deeper, slow it down.
And it's quite easy. It's just done in those little. Did you already show that? I wasn't watching your screen.
Just go into here. Like, you're good. Yeah. So right now this is at full speed. If you want this to go a little deeper, just drop it down like that.
Cool.
And then once you've created that setting, you can always hit this plus sign too, and you can give it whatever name you like and save it for next time. Like we know that we don't have every material in there. We've tried to give a big array of different options to get people started, but you can tweak and save and customize to your heart's content.
Yeah, so if you buy 100 core cats off of Amazon and you're going to engrave them for all your friends and family for Christmas or something, figure out the settings once, save it, and then it'll be golden. So
is that a hint of what I'm getting for Christmas this year?
Yes, don't tell Nick. You're making it. Great core cat.
This print's finished, by the way, so I could just pop you over here really quick. Mike switches to our Honeycam. Once it's finished, we can open the lid right away. Nothing's hot. There's nothing you need to worry about when you're touching it. And these pieces are cut out. So I can just lift this out really carefully, and you'll see there's just a big hole in the middle of that material.
That's so fun.
And we can put this aside. I'm going to put this in my blue acrylic drawer, which is right here. Thank you, DreamBox. Fits perfectly. And then these pieces I can just take out here and bring it over to the table so we can peel them and start to assemble.
Woohoo.
Wow.
It's as easy as that.
I saw the question in chat. Is it actually cutting through the acrylic? Yes.
Here's your proof.
Yes. Yes, it's really cool. I do think that is confusing because people do think of laser sometimes as just the engraving part of the machine. Oh, yes, please. I also just saw another question come through about the depth that Glowforge can engrave on. So the Aura, I believe, is a 1/4 inch depth. Is that right? Okay.
And that's for cutting certain materials, so up to a 1/4 inch.
Yeah. So the example that you gave of you want to engrave on wine bottles, this wouldn't be the right tool for you. But like Nick was saying, people do find lots of creative ways to fulfill their aspirations. So I've seen for wine bottles, for example, a couple different things. I've seen people make kind of like collars that go over the neck and then hang down that have like a cute little, we might even have one somewhere around here.
I have this flash I'm kind of sneaking away. Yeah. So this, unfortunately, is a little thick to go inside the Glowforge, or it's about a 1/4 inch too thick. But what we can do is take some of the self-adhesive veneer that we sell in the proof grade store. We can engrave that and just whack that right on there. And you can do the same thing with a wine bottle. We can cut this and engrave it too, so you can make it as fancy or as simple as you like. It's a really cool material. It's real wood that's a sticker, which is kind of neat.
That's so fun. That's so cool. So many possibilities. We're just blown away.
It's so fun. So lucky to get this like up close tutorial with you experts.
I know.
Like we're just learning so much.
This is amazing.
Another question, can you engrave on random stones? Yes, absolutely. Stone, I keep showing this because I just have it right here in front of me. This one has a Fernet cocktail recipe on it, actually, which is really cute. Here, let's just, can I have the hand cam?
Yeah, sure.
With stone, it's one of those things where you'll need to test the settings and just see the result that you like. This is slate. And so this does kind of a bleaching effect. I don't know, a distressing effect, white. But some stones like sandstone can sometimes like even have different colored results.
Yeah, if you hit them twice, they can change from light to dark, which is kind of interesting. One really cool craft technique that we see a lot of people in our community do that I've not tried with Aura, but I think would work, is if you take a glazed ceramic tile and then engrave that, you can engrave away the glazed area to reveal the porous ceramic underneath, and then use felt pens to add color to that. And the porous ceramic absorbs that color, and then you end up with this really cool permanent decorative object that you can inlay into different things. I've seen people do backsplashes. Some people put them in the lids of boxes they're making. It's pretty rad.
And then as you can see, I mean, I'm just showing off some of these things that I had no hand in creating, but they're beautiful. As you can see, like the finishing techniques are sometimes what take everything to the next level. Like this is, I think, maple plywood or something quite,
you're right.
Is that even,
that's leather
actually. I'm like, wait, this feels, so this little sign is leather and then maple plywood for the house, but then they've painted it, and which really makes the dimensions pop. And then they've used this white snow. It's like white paint, and then they've put sparkles in it, and it looks so cute. So
actually, that's a good cheat code with the masking. You know, we talked about that protective masking. Well, if you put just the masking layer and peel it off, you can create a really intricate stencil, and then you can paint and peel away the rest of that masking, and you have the most professional paint job you've ever done, and everybody thinks you're an artist when in fact you're just a laser cheat like me.
I saw somebody refer to it the other day as like create a coloring book, and then it looked beautiful. Like I can't color or I can't paint within the lines like that. So.
Actually, in fact, I just broke it. We made this for a video the other day. We didn't really glow it together.
Oh my gosh,
but this one
is so cute.
This one here, we could have decorated it in so many different ways. What we ended up doing was actually taking some white cardstock, putting some double stick tape on the back to make basically self-adhesive white material. And then we cut these little swirls out. So you get a little bit of dimension. You get a nice bright pop that looks like the cherry plywood really nice. And then Janae put her own personal spin on this. Janae is one of our crafters that does a lot of this finishing work. She's an incredible artist. And here we've used what was green spray paint and then sprinkled glitter on top of it while it was still wet. So we get that cool color, a couple of little rhinestones. And then in the front, we started to experiment with glitter-filled glue gun sticks. So you get some like dimensional sculpting kind of ability there too.
I thought those were tiny pipe cleaners from.
They kind of look like that. Yeah.
So cool.
But you know, there's so much that you can do. It's really cool.
Yeah. The finishing techniques are just a whole other world to delve into, and using multiple materials, and it really like levels up your project. Like the little fox keychain that you showed before, just using the two materials. I don't know, for some reason to me that's just like a wow moment. Yeah,
I mean, like this one, right? Just a little bit of reindeer moss on the side.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that. I was showing that a moment ago. Oh yeah, and this has leather trees, and then a leather little sign. So
it's so fun. So fun to see these things. I'm glad you have something that we can show.
Yeah, of course. I'm just going to see if there's any other important questions that people want to hear. Do you have to put something under the material so it doesn't move on the Glowforge while it works? That's a really good question. No, not under it. There is a piece of a crumb tray, we call it, a piece of metal that kind of protects the bottom of the Glowforge and catches the scraps that fall through. And most of these materials are sturdy enough. There are fans inside the Glowforge blowing constantly to keep the particulates that Nick mentioned earlier moving through the air filter and whatnot. But they won't move. The material shouldn't move around on the bed, with perhaps the exception of like tissue paper or
really light
paper. And in those cases, we tend to weight it down with something a little heavier on top. So even just something like this that might keep it in place.
I could mention that really quick because we talked about thick materials, right? So inside Glowforge Aura, you have that cutting tray that Bailey just mentioned.
Here.
And it's basically this metal sheet right here. Your material just sits on top of it. Little tiny pieces can fall through into the bottom. But if you take that out, you have a little bit of extra depth here. So if I go to my consumables section of my DreamBox right here, I could pull out one of my engravables. So here we've got a blank cutting board, and I can put that right in the bottom there, and then I can print on top of that. So we can print onto things that are up to 3/4 of an inch thick by removing this tray.
Nice. Lovely.
That is another, all these hacks you guys are sharing. This is so nice.
You can see a sneak peek in the background right there. That's a Glowforge Pro right behind Nick. It doesn't fit on this table, but yes, this is our larger performance series printer.
You can see that glass tube in the back.
Yeah, and you can see the laser tube in the back.
It's a bit dirty, sorry.
Yes, it's well loved. Well, do we want to start on the tour since we're...
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be cameraman.
Okay, all right. So full disclosure, we only built this a few days ago. So this is still very new to us. I will say to anybody out there who's considering one of these, it went together really easily, and DreamBox or Create Room are not telling me to say that. I promise you.
He said that to me when I got here. I asked him, and he really said that.
Unsolicited, yeah. And I'm a 30-something-year-old dad, so I naturally love IKEA furniture and like all of those kind of construction projects. This was a breeze to put together. The wheels on it make it move so easily, even on the carpet that we have in the studio here. So don't be concerned if that's what you're worried about in terms of getting one of these. And then there's only one problem that I found, and that is there's just so much storage space in this thing that even we, as like a professional crafting unit, struggle to fill it. So we're still figuring out the best way to do it. But here's how we have things set up right now. On our left-hand side here, we added some corkboards at the top as a kind of inspiration station, and we have our sketchbooks for ideation and things like that here. We started playing around with the different holders for ribbons and things like that here. Now, we craft in lots of different mediums. So we do some electronics from time to time. So we have some colored wire here too, and then some paint storage. And of course, on this side, the all-important coffee station.
Very important.
This pour over unit was actually made on the Glowforge too. And if
This
I pull
is
that out,
an original project. I mean, I think we've been printing these since 2015, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not this fancy of a version, but
no, we made this one for the Aura marketing video. But
that's
yeah,
beautiful.
it's very nice. And then this is my engravable section. So I've got my cutting boards, coasters. I have my kitchen implements and things like that here. I've got jar lids in this one too. All sorts of different stuff. And what I really liked about some of these drawers, and I don't know which one I have. Oh, here we go. Look, I have in them, is that Create Room shipped these dividers too. So I can actually segment these little drawers to better organize all of my stuff.
I didn't even know that.
It's really great, yeah. Or if you like playing shopkeeper, you can basically merchandise everything to the front so it looks full and beautiful.
Right.
And so here we have our paint sticks that we love to use too. So if you engrave things into acrylic, you can scrub these paint sticks into the engraving and show the result off really nicely. This is our cubby for our paint holder. We've got our books here. And then we decided we might throw in some prints too, because it's nice when you're working at your station to be able to show off some of the things that you've been making. Yeah. And we kind of have everything that we use most close to hand. So we've got our tapes, we've got our paintbrushes, our paint pens, and that kind of thing. Yeah. And then up here, we started to organize our paints. And this is one, let me grab this print really quick.
I love that all of this is in the RGB, all of them in order.
We were talking about ways to remember the rainbow, and I know Richard of York gave Battle in Vain as my
Oh, I don't know that. I just know the song.
There we go.
I'll spare y'all.
But here's something that I started to play about with, and this speaks to the versatility of the machine. This is just shipping cardboard. This is just boxes from Amazon, essentially. Wow. But I noticed, because this drawer is so big, I don't have enough paints to fill it. And sometimes when I pull it out, they kind of rattle around inside. So I just made these simple pieces that are sized for my paints so I can sit them in there nicely. And so when I move my drawer around, the paints don't fall. So I'm eventually going to transfer that into here.
We're going to need a whole section of your
design
space.
Right? It would be great. Yeah, it'd be a fantastic place for your community to submit designs too.
Yeah, I love
it. Keep everything so organized.
Yeah. And if I pop across this side, I could show you inside these drawers here. I'm not sure which camera I should be looking at, but I had to print these inserts here. These are just paper that we took up off our photography backdrop rolls. Because we have a laser, we can cut these super precisely. So they fit perfectly inside the drawer front right here. And we can use these to either disguise things inside if we've got a messy drawer, or we could add samples or things like that on the front if we want to show what's actually enclosed in there. And these, I was chatting to Bailey about this earlier. We printed these on the laser, but you could just cut a template out of a piece of material with this and then just use your craft knife to cut around it. And you could make as many or as few as you like very, very easily.
Yeah.
So there's those.
I can see people even changing out the colors of the drawer inserts like seasonally.
Right. Seasonally.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, that's so fun.
We got our cleaning supplies right here, another space for prints. And then here, we actually took a piece of IKEA pegboard and put that on the inside because we use this a lot to organize different things.
We love pegboard around here.
I think a lot of the crafters out there do, right? And so we've custom made certain attachments for this IKEA pegboard system that are available in the Glowforge catalog. And so you can organize various things that way too. I will admit that Create Room have solved for most of this with what they shipped us. So some of this was superfluous, but as crafters, you like to put your own spin on things, right? Yeah. So this is the way we approached it. But I mean, if you tune in next week, this is probably all going to be changed because we were going to learn as we use this and figure out exactly what goes where and how best to use it. But yeah, this is what we got so far. We love it.
Oh, that's amazing to see. That's like why we love doing these, is to see how each crafter kind of puts their own spin on it based on what materials they are using and like what makes sense for their craft. So it's so cool to see another box. So thank you guys for showing us around a little bit. We can kind of show the studio a little bit as well, because the Glowforge Aura, it does fit on the DreamBox table as well, but a lot of people as well will put it on some of our other furniture, which is smaller. This is our dream cart right here. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they can see it. There we go.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we can see it. It looks great.
I think Rachel Timmerman as well, she keeps her Aura on the dream cart and puts her filter on the back where the boxes are. So there's a lot of possibilities as well with Oh, yep, there's Rachel right there. It's on her. So it connects to our DreamBox, and you can put down the tables, which is so nice, and just like another place to store some more craft supplies. So yeah, that's really fun. But yeah, it can fit on there. And our cubbies. Let's see if they're on this side.
It's quite the right size for the cubbies.
Yes, maybe if you like put them next to each other, like on like back to back.
Ooh.
We have some cubbies where you can store some more supplies as well.
Yeah, let's see. I think it might stick out a little bit on here.
Move it around.
Probably a little bit too big for the
Look
camera.
how light it is.
I was going to say, this is actually a really good demonstration of how easy the Aura is to move around your studio.
Light.
That's the main difference with the Performance series, the Plus and Pro. Those are quite hefty.
Yeah,
so
that's a two-person job.
two-person you carry. Yeah.
Wow.
I
So
was
maybe we'll
definitely
pull it
surprised
closer.
at how light it was and so easy to move.
Mhm.
I mean, you guys could see on your table. We'll lift up our camera a little bit just to kind of show how it fits on the
So
table.
nice.
It's perfectly on the table.
It's like you guys designed it for our table. It's exactly nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were amazed at how well it fits. And actually, the Glowforge personal filter fits perfectly in that little cubby under the table as well.
Oh,
Nests in there just right. And if you take out that horizontal shelf, if you stand your Aura up, which we're still figuring out the best way to do that, whether we should tell you to or not.
Yeah.
But it fits in there really well. So there might be a world where one day you can store your Aura vertically and like close everything up too. So we're still playing. We're still learning too.
yeah. I wanted to show too. I just think this little workspace right here is so nice. We have not that you need a ton of extra light because it's so fun to just look in there. But the light from the DreamBox, I feel like you just have this perfect little workspace.
So nice.
It's beautiful.
We actually put a roll of brown paper, like butcher paper, behind our Aura that you can roll down over the top of that surface because it's so nice and clean. Sometimes when you're doing those messy things, you don't want to get your nice furniture all dirty. So you just pull a piece of paper, get that dirty, tear it off, and it sits perfectly just behind the Aura.
That's very smart. I feel like my DreamBox will not be white for long. I'm kind of a messy crafter. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
I love it. Well, are you guys
so fun?
I know. Should we? Okay, we have so many people that have shared this video. I feel like we should announce the winner.
Yes.
It's been so funny. We've had a constant stream of new people coming in here. So thank you all for sharing.
It's been so fun. Just waiting on a name. I think we have one for our giveaway winner. If we're ready to announce that, are we?
Okay, and are you guys showing us are you putting together any more of your craft?
No, we didn't peel it. We talked too much, but
we could probably peel some while you talk.
Yeah, peel
Let's
some
see.
more. I think people want to see the next steps. If you guys, we could even do that and then announce our winner right at the
Yeah,
at
we
the
can
end.
do that.
sure.
Let's see.
One last
Well,
plug.
are there any other questions while we peel? Maybe we can.
Feel. Let's see. Okay, I did want to mention, since you guys mentioned your holiday offers, we also have some exciting things. I think everyone is looking for presents and things.
Yes.
Coming up
Holiday
and-
season.
Yeah. So I mean, the dream would be the Aura and the DreamBox together, obviously.
Perfect
So
setup.
we have our big sales are coming up for Black Friday, but we're actually announcing ours a week. Ours starts a week before that. So we haven't even said this yet, but it's going to be starting on the 17th of November.
Yeah.
So maybe just mark your calendar, make sure you're on our email list.
Yeah.
That's when ours.
Yes, it's gonna be a big one. So yeah, follow us along on social as well. Maybe we can send some links for both Glowforge and our channels as well into the chat, just so you guys we'll be posting everything there. Yeah, we will make sure you guys know about what's coming up because it's some exciting things. So
Okay.
That would be great. I've been eyeing up some of the paper organizers actually on the site, so maybe I'll pick a couple up for our DreamBox here.
Nice.
I think they'd fit the proof grade materials perfectly.
Yes.
it would be perfect. Yes,
It was very satisfying to peel this.
I know it's fun to watch.
It's my 5-year-old's favorite job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he loves
Yeah.
it. He really does.
And that's a good thing to know too, because when I was testing out the Aura as well, the material on the top, I was like you, Bailey. I didn't know it came off. So
I think that is confusing sometimes for people. They're like, why is it all brown or why is it like that? And actually, I was mentioning, of course, that you can use non-proof grade materials, i.e., walk into a craft store and buy a piece of wood that they have there because you prefer prefer it for whatever reason. And you can also mask those yourself. I use painter's tape every time I'm printing on something that's not already masked, and test it, but it'll cut and engrave right through that, of course, and then you'll still get that protective effect, and it's not too sticky. It won't ruin your material or leave any adhesive on it or anything like that.
Yeah.
And these pieces just slot together. I think you can see that. I just have to keep reminding myself as to how it actually goes together.
Oh gosh.
So I'm just looking at the different layers, but there's the first one.
I took that long to peel this. I'm so bad.
Don't worry. If you can could you do that one for me?
Yes.
All right, let's see. It's like a race.
No pressure. Just peel and peel.
Puzzle.
It's cool to see it all come together in all the different pieces. So
yeah, absolutely.
It is very satisfying, actually. Yeah, it's a really nice design.
That's so cool.
I'm honestly just, we have people sharing organization like hacks all the time in our Facebook group. And just recently somebody made, no, they didn't make it. They bought it. They bought a little paintbrush organizer, but this is even better.
This is on the next level. Like this is amazing.
It's so cool. I think it would fit perfectly right under that shelf too. Yeah, like to the side or in that space that you guys had it in. Everyone's always looking for deeper and deeper organization. The one thing we know about our crafters and at Create Room, you guys talked about not wanting to waste any space of your materials.
Yeah.
Our well, they also don't want to waste any storage space. So they want to maximize so I love these little hacks to just organize even deeper, utilize every space in the DreamBox.
Yeah, I saw a comment after Nick was like, we have so many crafting things around here, and I was struggling to fill it. I saw someone being like, I don't think anybody here would struggle to fill a DreamBox. It's true. I have one of those embarrassing craft closets where my crafting ADHD, like I was really into embroidery for a while last year, and so there it all is in a closet, and then I'm sure I'll get back to it someday. But look at it, it's happening.
It's happening.
Okay,
it's getting there.
You want to hand me the?
Yeah, sure. Ooh.
Nothing better than assembling something live.
I'm caught in my chair. Oh no!
You got it. We're good. Okay. Look how far we've come.
Let's see. Yeah. So just gotta get these different layers together all at the right moment.
Wow.
Like one of those dinosaur models that you used to have as a kid.
Yeah. Right.
Was that just me? I don't know.
So cool.
Cool. That's so cool.
I mean, you could alter this design too, like to fit. Of course, if you don't have paintbrushes, maybe a set of colored pencils or other things, or just be inspired by this to create your own. Like I know Nick was mentioning earlier in the stream, Glowforge, you can upload, rather than just using designs from the catalog, you can upload your own designs. So if you see this and are inspired, but you say, oh, well, I use pastels or watercolors or what have you, you can make a similar thing that fits your exact product. That's kind of the beauty of like customizing everything so it's exactly for you. And also, I mean, I know a lot of crafting people are very into whatever aesthetic it is that they like a couple influencers that we love, they have, just kind of like colors that I associate with them. Like I'm thinking of one person in particular, and I think of like orange and like hot pink when I think of her, because I mean, you could really deck out your whole DreamBox to be your brand or your look, and just like be your happy place when you walk into that room with it.
I realize I missed this piece. You get the idea, right? Look at
that.
It slides together like this.
Looks amazing.
George.
Wow.
Nick did all of that. I feel like one piece. Sorry.
That's so
very
impressive.
cool.
Well, thank you guys so much for showing us that. It's amazing to like see how many options there are. I think that's the biggest thing is just it is so cool to see what you can do with it. So
I like this comment here. I need this for my paintbrushes. I'm currently using 10 cups. I mean, but
and drinking out of jam jars from the kitchen because all the nice glassware is in the DreamBox.
Yeah, exactly. That's too funny. Well, thank you so much. This was a blast.
It was great.
So
thank you.
So fun to sit down with you guys. We do have our giveaway winner. So are we ready?
Okay, ready now.
Wonderful. Okay, amazing.
Thanks to everyone who shared it.
Yes, thanks to everyone who shared it and tuned in. Diane Hawkins watching on YouTube. She's our winner. So
woo!
Congrats, Diane.
Yes, we'll reach out to you and get you your gift card. But
Yes.
Yeah, it's just been such a fun event, and thank you, Bailey and Nick, for tuning in and showing us everything.
You guys were
Everything
amazing
Glowforge.
presenters.
It's so cool to see.
Yeah, and
Thanks for having us.
keep your eyes on our page. Nick and I are planning to go live again in the future and do some different, I don't know if we'll do seasonal crafting or what we'll do, but we have a breadth of ideas. So feel free to join us over on our channels at some point too.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys, everyone, for watching. Yeah, thank you guys.
Have an awesome day, everybody.
Thank you.
Of course.
Happy
Thank you,
Thursday.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.